Got Bernie Marcus with us right now, the Home Depot co-founder. Remember, he got a special shout-out from Donald Trump not too long ago, I believe, at a campaign event in Pueblo, Colorado. Bernie, you heard what Ari was saying. You've heard what some other Republicans have been saying, that maybe ever since the release of this tape, even though Mr. Trump has apologized for it several times, they're not getting over it, and they want the party to get over him. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I think it's ridiculous. Number one, when he made those statements, and Neil, come on, let's grow up. I'm 87 years old. I've heard far worse in my lifetime than that. And for the party to walk away from him is ridiculous. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Think about this. Number one, he was not a member of Congress. He was not a politician. He was in show business when he made those kind of remarks. And what has that got to do with what's happening today? And for the Republican Party to walk away from him is total, absolute nonsense.
What do you think is happening here? One of the things that you got to say, something is happening where they're doing this, because it does seem at first blush childish. But he did have a good debate to performance last night. Many have weighed whether it was wise to bring all these Clinton accusers there, but it sort of nullified the situation so that he could talk about this other stuff. It's always in the eyes of the beholder. But that they're getting nervous. They're getting nervous about congressional seats. They're getting nervous about Senate seats. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are. But let me put it to you this way. So we have a Congress that's dominated by the Republicans and the Democrats. What have they been able to accomplish the last couple of years? Very little. Anything that they wanted to pass, Obama was going to veto it. In most cases, they didn't even try to pass legislation knowing that Obama was going to veto it. So what good is the Senate and the House if you don't own the presidency as well? And it would seem to me that they should understand that if Hillary is the president of the United States, and they may be the Senate and the House, and they may win, and I hope that they do win, they're going to have Supreme Court judges that are going to be nominated, and they're going to be forced to accept somebody that doesn't believe in the Constitution. That's really like Sotomayor that we have today. And I can't think of anybody who's worse for the free market or for the free enterprise system in America than Sotomayor. And you're going to have one or two or three more. So think about this a second. If you win, you lose. If he doesn't win, you lose. So it would seem to me that you ought to just fight for him just for those Supreme Court judges. Look, we're going to live for 25 or 30 years with those people in office, and you're going to see the Constitution as a piece of rubble when they finish with it, because social justice is their main issue. Bowing to the mobs is their main issue, and actually the rule of law is going to go out. We've seen Obama pass executive orders that don't pass the rule of law. The courts are knocking them out one by one. If you have a Supreme Court that's dominated by the liberals, they won't knock them out. Even the rules that we know are...
That is a concern. No, that is a concern. But let me ask you a little bit about, for the next debate, the rubber match, I guess, if you will, in Las Vegas, and this sense that that's his closing argument to make and to turn some poll numbers around. Not all, but some. A national lead has widened for Hillary Clinton in some battleground states. It's picked up, not demonstrably, but enough, I'm sure, to give folks like you some pause and worry. What do you think he has to do in that debate to close the deal?
Well, I hope that we're not going to be involved with the minutia, but knowing the Democratic Party over the next two weeks before this happens, they're going to pull up something else. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe he soiled his diapers when he was a kid. What the hell? What do I know? They'll find something that's going to be to try to take everybody's mind off the major issues. And the major issue is what he tried to say last night, and that is this country's in very bad shape, both domestically and in foreign policy. And what he's going to have to do is to have more detail on what he's doing. They're spending so much time talking about nonsense that doesn't make any difference in this country, and it's basically the gutter that they started this last week. Hillary and her supporters are the ones that dig this garbage up. And you know what? If it continues next week, the people are not going to hear what they really have to hear. How are you going to create jobs? How are you going to help middle America? How are you going to keep the small businessman from going under? You know, this year, Neil, I tell you the numbers, there were more small businesses closed this last year than open. This is the first time in maybe 40 years that that happened. There are about 80 million people working for small business owners around America, and they are getting slammed by regulations. The regulations are very specific. Dodd-Frank is killing off the community banks. If the community banks are not there, they can't get line of credits. Obamacare is causing them to hire more part-time people. And think about this, Neil, more part-time people than full-time people. And this is happening all over America as we speak. And so you're not building jobs. Hillary is interested in killing the rich. What is that going to do to create jobs in America? We have to think about the people. There's 95 million people that are out of the workforce.
I think she said she wants guys like you to pay your fair share. What do you think of that?
Well, you know what? You could take all of my money, frankly, and it's not going to make a drop in the bucket. Come on, Neil, by the way, you're in that bucket also, along with me. So if in fact, she takes everything I have...
We're at different ends of that bucket, Bernie, but I understand what you're saying.
Hey, listen, Neil, I give away a lot of money. You know, my foundation gives away millions every year, and I'm going to be broke one of these days, and I'll be right where you are. Hey, not so bad. At least I accomplished something.
Bernie, you've done a lot and a lot of good. I want to thank you very much in juggling all this breaking news. Before we go to break here, I want to bring